Hey everyone, welcome to the House Church video for week 3 of the Advent Conspiracy Christmas series here at PAC. It's an up week. For me this week, I didn't actually have a question. So there you go, mark that down. I may be getting soft in my old age, just not questioning things that I used to, taking them for granted. But I couldn't come up with a question really this week, at least not one that for House Church video purposes dovetailed into my light bulb moment. I did have a strong light bulb moment. As I was studying the texts for this week, I realized that we live in an age where the words "here I am" mean way more to somebody than "I love you." That's interesting to me because in the Old Testament, the great shifts in the characters' lives always happen, not when they said to God, "I love you," but when they said to God, "Here I am." And at Christmas, God says to us in the person of his Son, "Here I am," and he gives us the gift of his presence. And I'm thinking about all the ways that we ignore each other, all the ways that we miss each other as we stare at our phones, as we think about things more than people. And my light bulb moment was that it is more important for you to be able to say to somebody, "Here I am, I'm present with you," than it is to say, "I love you." You might disagree with that. That's okay. That's what House Church is for, is to process these things. Out of that, my conviction was really, really simple. I need to turn off my phone, and you probably do too. When I was teaching in kids' church about 2 months ago, I was talking about the difference between "here I am" and "I love you." And I realized that I had a bunch of 8-year-olds in front of me that frequently hear from their parents, "I love you," but rarely ever hear "here I am." And all of these little shavers, as soon as I said, "Hey, have you ever had somebody look at their phone and talk to you, but they're not really talking to you, they're not really paying attention, and maybe they even look at their phone and say, 'I love you too.' How does that feel?" And they're like, "Terrible, they don't mean it." And then I was like, well, what does it feel like when they put their phone away, turn it off, give you their full attention? And even just the thought of that had these kids come alive. My conviction is that I want to live in the fullness of "here I am" with the people around me, instead of the ease with which we can say, "I love you." And in doing that, I get to be like my Father in heaven, which always feels good when I'm becoming more like him, saying, "Here I am," and being present with people in the same way that he, in the form of his Son, became present with us. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is a good time for everybody to shut off their phones and to be really, really present with each other. Grace and peace.